Hi YouTubers, welcome to another episode of All Things Triumph Tiger Explorer 1200. When you have to do your valve clearances on these bikes, which you probably have to, I think the manual says to do it every 20 or 30,000 kilometers, I think it's more like 30,000 kilometers, you'll discover that you need shims. So this bike requires you to take the tank off, all the plastics, the tank off, the seat off. You have to take the tap the cover off, and you have to actually take the cam chain tensioner out, loosen the cam chain, take it off the sprockets at the end of the cams, and then you have to loosen this ladder above the cams. And what you discover once you've taken the camshafts off is that you have these buckets. So it looks like a little stainless steel bottle cap almost. So you use a magnet, you pull those out, but then you discover that inside each bucket there's a little shim. It looks like a little coin almost. And Triumph sell these shims individually, so you can order a 2.35 millimeter shim or a 2.38 millimeter shim. But it's quite expensive, and the problem is when you're about to do your valve clearance job, you don't know what size you need. And that's a bit of a problem. So I did some reading on the forums, and what you really need is an entire set. So you get this set, you can buy them on the internet, probably on eBay or similar, or from Hotcams themselves. So you need a Hotcams 9.48 millimeter shim set. So if you look in the box, there's actually a lot of, they come with 3 shims of each size, from 1.2 millimeters going up in 0.05 millimeter increments. It goes from 1.2 to 1.25 and goes all the way up to 3.50 millimeter shims. And if you open up the shims, the box, you'll find that the shims are actually marked. If I can get the box open, so it helps to actually open it on the correct side. So when you pull out the shim, you need relatively good eyesight and a good light. But it will say, it says Hotcams, and it has the size of the shims 1.65 millimeter on this particular one. So when you pull the one out the bike using a magnet, normally you can read what it was. Now if you don't know what the shim size is, and it's not stamped on the shim itself, then you need a micrometer. And I ended up buying one of those off the internet too for probably about $20. And I did end up using it actually once or twice, because the shim, some of the shims are a little bit scratched, and you can't be absolutely sure what the number is. You've got to actually put it into the micrometer and find out exactly what the size is. Mine's digital, so it's really convenient. So what actually happened with me is I bought this Hotcams shim set, and it looked fantastic. I'm prepared for the job, but I discovered that most of the shims on this bike were actually about, what was it, 2.3? 2.3, no, they're about 2.4 actually. And I needed shims in most cases that were 0.05 thinner. So I needed about 8 2.35 millimeter shims for the job. And that's a problem, because this thing only has 3 of each. But the good news is that you can actually order replacement shims for these as well. And it's cheaper to do it this way. And this particular shim set is actually useful for most of the Japanese bikes. And I think for like trail bikes, etc. A lot of Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha actually will use this particular shim size, as well as Triumph. But just double check with your particular bike before you order the shim set. But I did my research and it was exactly the same as the original Shim. Yeah. So the main problem, when you're doing the job is, if your bike's going to be off the road for a month, it's not a problem. Because you can work out, okay, I need 8 2.35s, I need 2 2.30s. The problem is, if you want to get the job done quickly, you've got to have the shims on hand. And anyway, I had the shims. I was missing about 5 of the 2.35s that I needed. Fortunately, our local dealer in Australia on the Gold Coast had replacement shims, so the job, I ended up having to wait about 1 week for the extra shims. But anyway, these shims are a lot cheaper than the original bike parts, and it's good to have a wide range of shims as well. You never know what you're going to need. So hope that helps. Have a good day. GoPro, stop recording.